My name is DiPietro. I am from Franklinville, New Jersey, and I am a victim of state family court corruption, state civil court corruption, and federal court corruption. Everything I'm about to tell you can be seen through Pacer and DiPietro versus Lawless Title Company et al. 05110. DiPietro versus Gloucester County Sheriff's Department 05878. DiPietro versus Moriski 02338. New Jersey Appellate Court under Newfield National Bank versus Pete DiPietro under A-0737-10T4, and New Jersey Appellate Court DiPietro versus Vasallo A-5207-09. All the evidence that I will mention and all three suits were in front of federal judge Noel Hillman. In 2001, I found out the Gloucester County courts were using a judicial employee by the name of Angela Marlowe to illegally conduct psychological evaluations in child and termination custody hearings. I, of course, whistle-blew, and since that time, the court has done everything from taking away my daughter from me, whom I have not seen since 2003, illegally arrested and incarcerated me on 2 occasions, fraudulently foreclosing on my property and denying any and all legal claims that I had. Instead of going into procedural history of each complaint, I'm going to show just a sample of what was in front of Judge Hillman in the federal court. First, the mortgage matter. Under DiPietro versus Lawless Title Company et al., there were 2 expert reports by retired mortgage broker by the name of Michael J. Smith. Both reports were present in the state court. The reports clearly identified that I was a victim of predatory lending, common law fraud, racketeering, conspiracy to commit fraud, and other claims against Newfield National Bank and their employees, Lawless Title Company. These reports were in front of Judge James Rafferty of the Gloucester County Chancery, Judge Richard Geiger of the Cumberland County Law Division, Judge Grail, Judge Alvarez, and Skillman of the New Jersey Appellate Court. These reports also show criminal liability under 15 U.S.C. Section 1611. With these reports in front of the state court, Judge James Rafferty, knowing that I was a victim, foreclosed and handed my property over to Newfield National Bank. My counterclaim was transferred to the Law Division under Judge Richard Geiger. This judge, without any fact or law, ultimately dismissed all my claims against all named defendants. This went to the New Jersey Appellate Court. The Appellate Court intentionally withheld the fact that an expert report ever existed. Then I filed a federal suit under DiPietro versus Lawless. Federal suit alleges that the state court and the appellate court were complicit in hiding criminal activity by Newfield National Bank, described in the expert report. Judge Hillman, knowing that the state court was covering a crime, dismissed the case for lack of jurisdiction. Now let's go to the judicial employee, Angela Marlowe matter. Under DiPietro versus Moriski. This matter was originally filed in the state court against my ex-wife, Joanne Vasallo, and her mother, Diane. Judicial employee Angela Marlowe, Dr. Philip Bobrow, State of New Jersey, and other judicial employees. This case was ultimately dismissed. Then the matter went in front of the New Jersey Appellate Court, then to the New Jersey Supreme Court. The New Jersey Supreme Court denied my petition for certification, which gave the federal courts absolute jurisdiction. Now, what was in front of Judge Hillman was the fact that judicial employee Angela Marlowe was not a licensed psychologist. In fact, she did not have any documentation to show that she could ever perform as a psychologist. The New Jersey Office of Attorney General affirmed this. I was and still remain harmed by her risk assessment. The evidence also shows that Judge David Morgan, presiding judge in the matter, tampered with my expert witness, Dr. Philip Bobrow, who took my money, refused to release the report to me even till this day. Instead, sent the report to the courts over 1 year after the evaluation. The court contacted me and allowed me 15 minutes to read the report. Dr. Philip Bobrow admitted on his report that he had conversations with David Morgan on this matter, ex parte, which of course is illegal, and he also stated he was fearful of a lawsuit. Dr. Philip Bobrow did witness that Angela Marlowe was not a licensed psychologist. The New Jersey Appellate Court was also included into the federal suit. What was in front of the New Jersey Appellate Court was a letter by Angela Marlowe, who signed herself out as a court psychologist. A letter from Paula Montana, Angela Marlowe's supervisor, referring to Angela Marlowe, court psychologist. The revised notice of vacancy provided by the Attorney General, who was representing Marlowe, which shows her requirements to be hired as a clinical psychologist, knowing that she was hired as a clinical psychologist without any documentation whatsoever. And also, there was also the bench memorandum of presiding Judge Ann McDonald saying Angela Marlowe's titled as a court psychologist. And a letter from the Board of Psychological Examiners saying that she was not a licensed psychologist. More than enough evidence plus undisputed oral argument was provided to the appellate court to show that she illegally held herself as a court psychologist and was illegally furnished false reports in the custody matters. Judge Grail, Judge Alvarez, Judge Perello of the appellate court concealed this from their decision and conspiring to cover up a crime which was taking place, and did conspire to cover up a crime which was taking place within the Gloucester County Family Courts in the custody matters. Judge Hillman had all this evidence to allow this action to move forward, but instead dismissed the entire case. Now, there's more to this, and I'll get back to it. Now, let's go to DiPietro versus Gloucester County Sheriff's Department. This is also a federal court. When I filed my first brief in the appellate court on the Marlowe matter, I was arrested and detained for 4 hours and threatened by sheriff's officers. I filed suit in the federal court. While the suit was pending, I filed a petition for certification in the New Jersey Supreme Court, like I previously mentioned. A week later, I was arrested again. During the arrest, one of the sheriff's officers had pointed an assault weapon at my head. I was incarcerated for 6 days without seeing a judge. I filed a criminal complaint against these named judges in the federal court. Only a week later, another arrest warrant was put out and it is still pending. This suit, which was in front of the federal court, allegedly shows that Gloucester County Sheriff's Department arrested and detained you without probable cause. The suit also alleges that the Gloucester County courts used the Gloucester County Sheriff's Department to intimidate and threaten you because of the Angela Marlowe matter. Judge Hillman, knowing that my Fourth Amendment, there are Fourth Amendment violations, dismissed the complaint for failure to properly plead. Now, if you look at the page, you'll see I properly pleaded it. As for now, I refiled a complaint in late September of 2012 against Newfield National Bank, bank employee Michelle Sturkley, Joe Bogowski, Janet Aselta, Landis Title Company, and Landis employee Renee Gould, law firm Ballard Spall, and associate Ryan Murphy. All were served with my summons and complaint over 3 months ago. Now I am being repeatedly refused by judicial employee Karen Gardner Duncan and Mary Lou my request for entry of default. And just received today was a federal order that plaintiff is enjoined from filing any claims into the district related to the 2000 New Jersey State Court divorce and child custody case without prior permission of the court, signed by Judge Noel Hillman. Judge Noel Hillman just stopped me from filing any federal lawsuits against any of these people. Now I come to you, ask for an oversight hearing into the courts, failure to uphold state law as it pertains to the judicial employees in the family court system, and also uphold state and federal laws as it pertains to the mortgage industry. I also ask for a complete investigation, not only the state courts, but also the federal courts for judicial corruption. Thank you very much.